is Kate Whouley, and her book is Remembering the Music, Forgetting the Words. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Barbara.
Now, when I saw the book title and I saw the subject matter, I was not sure if it was going to be a very somber, sad look at Alzheimer's and dementia, but it wasn't. It's really about life and family. So, give us a little background on the subject and your experience with your mom.
Well, thank you for saying that because I feel sometimes like I need to put a big banner on the book that says this book is not depressing or really even sad. But yes, it is about my journey with my mom, and she had dementia. She had a combination of Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. She got it early in her life. And there were a lot of challenges in that journey, and I'm very real about talking about those challenges, but at the same time, I learned a lot of lessons from her, and I felt like we don't always think about Alzheimer's patients as having something to teach us, and I wanted to put it out there that they do have a lot to teach us.
Absolutely, and I have some experience as a caregiver with my mom, and
Yeah.
so it resonated with me, and I wish I had read this beforehand because I think it changes the perspective quite a bit. Things that I had to kind of learn in the trenches as I was going through this. And one thing that comes through very strong is you have to live in that moment, even if you know that person 5 minutes from now, they won't remember that moment with you. Describe what that's like.
Well, I think that for a lot of folks, and as you say, you kind of learn as you go on this journey, and it's easy to feel sad and a little bit sorry for yourself as a caregiver and as a family member of someone with Alzheimer's because suddenly your personal history is being erased along with that person's history. And that can feel very disconcerting, especially early on. And I did want to sort of provide a companion, if you will, for folks who are going through this to speed it up so they could get to that point of understanding that the moment matters. Whether that person remembers it or not does not matter, but having that special moment with them does matter.
And you're kind of creating your own history from that point. It's as if your history, how can I describe that? It's as if you're writing this history for your life, knowing that that person is going to move into another dimension in your life, depending on your beliefs. So every moment, and I stopped looking at it as a term of something ending as much as it is preserving. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, because we still do have the memories and we can still look back on those times and feel good about the fact that we stayed with that person, that we showed up for that person, and that we gave them the best possible moment by moment experience they could have. Again, it's sort of like, we get tied up with feeling that we're having a good time because we're going to remember it. But you know what? We can have a good time whether we remember it or not.
Very true. Now, explain how music ties into your
Well, it
experience.
ties in a few different ways. In the title, it's a little bit of a metaphor, the idea of remembering the music, remembering the good times. It's also about my relationship to music. I'm a flute player. I play in a couple of community groups on Cape Cod. And for my mom, coming to my concerts, especially as she went further into Alzheimer's and dementia, was possibly the best times that she ever had. And after every concert, she'd say, "Gee, that was a great concert. That was the best concert ever." And I knew that A, she didn't really remember whether it was the best concert ever would be pretty hard for her to judge. But B, she probably didn't even remember the concert we just had in any specific way. But she remembered something that felt good, that the music felt good. And that's what I wanted to get across.
Excellent. What was your mother's personality like prior to the onset of dementia?
My mom was always what they like to call feisty. She didn't have an easy life, and that was the thing that I think I felt most sad about after she passed away. She had a lot of challenges in her life, but she met them, and she continued to meet them, and she was a role model for me, sort of an accidental feminist, and she found her own way, and she had challenges. We had challenges in our relationship. I don't think there's any mother and daughter that don't. But again, sometimes memory and forgetting comes in handy that way.
Did she come to grips with the fact that things were slipping away?
I'm not sure. One of the things you probably experience this too is as folks go deeper into dementia, there's not really an awareness that there's a problem. So
Hmm.
early you're not measuring against the person you think you used to be, or and again, that's another thing that I think we make a mistake. I've heard so many people say, "Oh, my father is a shadow of his former self," and I just feel like that's just so unfair to both the father and the son in that sense. Because why not just think of this person as continuing to evolve?
And you're going to be reading today at the fair?
I Yes, at 12:30, and I the session is called Caring for Mothers, and I'm not sure of the building and the room number. I don't have that in front of me, but it's in the fair guide, I'm sure.
And what kind of response are you getting from, particularly, I think, for women who are in these relationships with their mothers and this time of life?
Well, I think that it's interesting that, folks like you who have gone through this or are going through this seem to really relate. And I think, are finding some companionship and comfort here. And so that's really nice to hear. There's a whole other crowd of people who are just afraid of the topic. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that some of those people will be brave and realize that it's just part of life. As you said it when we started, it's really about life and living it and showing up and reaching deep and finding compassion and also remembering to have fun.
Exactly. The name of the book is Remembering the Music, Forgetting the Words. Kate Whouley, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Thank you. Have a great day.